everyone. So I'm here doing a really quick Facebook Live to give you the latest developments about immigration. My name is Rocio and I'm an immigration attorney at the law office of RSB Ltd. You can contact us or reach us at 312-226-4232. I want to talk to you guys about the new announcement that we heard about DACA. So basically, on December 7th, on December 4th, the court had ordered that immigration had to update their website by Monday, yesterday, December 7th, letting us know that they would be starting to accept new DACA applications. And so this actually came out, their comments or their updates on their website has actually come up with a bunch of other good things for everyone else. So I want to do a really quick recap of what are those benefits. So basically they're saying we're going to have to change DACA to the way it used to be back in 2017. So there are three really big importance that I want to focus and share with you guys. One of them is they had changed if you were renewing DACA before, they were only giving it to you for 1 year. And basically your employment authorization was only going to be valid for 1 year. Now, they're doing it where DACA will be valid for actually 2 years. So this is wonderful news. You're paying the same fee for $195 and your DACA will be valid for 2 years. Also, protection for deportation. It had been changed also from 1 year to, from 2 years down to 1 year. But now the good news is with this new announcement from immigration, it is now going to be approved for 2 years and protection for deportation. This is wonderful news. The third thing with DACA as well is, or the second one actually, is advanced parole. So people who do currently have DACA, deferred action for childhood arrivals, previously were able to travel due to education reasons, work reasons, or humanitarian reasons. They made it really difficult the last 3 years where you could only travel only for urgent humanitarian reasons. So now people will be able to travel under the old revisions of 2017. So basically, if you have humanitarian reasons, if you need to go see because your father is sick in your home country, if someone passed away and you need to attend their funeral. So any humanitarian reasons, they are allowing people who currently have DACA to be able to travel on advanced parole. The other option now is also education. So basically, if I have a study abroad program, I need to go to England, I need to go to a different country to learn a foreign language. It's part of my curriculum through school. I need permission to travel. You are able to request advanced parole, which is basically permission from immigration for you to be able to travel with permission from immigration. You can come back to the United States. And the third reason now that advanced parole is an option for those who currently have DACA is work related. So basically, if you have your employer saying, look, you need to go to training, or you need to go to a conference, or you need to go to a seminar, and you need to travel out of the country, as long as you're able to provide that documentation and letterhead, you can submit those applications with immigration and request what's called advanced parole. So those are the three. And then finally, the third biggest thing with DACA, the announcement, anyone who has never had DACA before, now they're able to apply for DACA. So honestly, everything I just explained, I feel it's almost like a Christmas present to all of us. We've been waiting for this for years. One of my tips is, as an immigration attorney, I know there's another case currently pending in Texas. And so they're going to be making a decision in this regards as well about DACA on December 22nd. And it's actually the case is in front of the same judge who actually turned down DAPA, which was actually another program for parents similar to DACA, which just shut down. So I'm telling my clients, we have a very small window to apply for DACA. Please, the website has been updated. The Supreme Court says that we should go back to 2017. Please submit your DACA applications if you've never had DACA. If you're eligible, if you missed it last time and you slept on it, or you didn't have the money to apply, or you were not 15 years old, please go ahead and submit your DACA applications now. You're eligible and you're able. However, in my opinion as an immigration attorney, I think we only have a very limited small window from December 7th, which was yesterday, all the way to December 22nd, because we don't know, we're going to wake up on December 23rd and they're going to say, no, never mind, DACA is gone. If you've never had DACA, you're not able to apply for DACA, and we will not let you apply if you've never had DACA. So the question I get frequently asked, so what are the requirements to be able to apply for DACA? I missed it last time. Or actually my children are able to apply for DACA, or myself, now I'm 30, I want to apply for DACA, I missed it the first time around. So DACA was announced in June of 2012. So basically one of the elements is that you came before the age of 16 to the United States. So basically you have to do the math. If you came to the country, you entered the United States before the age of 16, you've made it. You cannot have arrived when you were 17 or 18. Last night I also did a Facebook Live and someone asked, well, what if I came here when I was 17? You're not eligible. You need to prove, because you need to prove to immigration, you need to have paperwork. But you came here before the age of 16. The second requirement is you must prove physical presence, that you're physically here in the United States from June 15, 2007, all the way until the present now. So we're talking about 13 years. So I always tell my clients, organize yourself, put everything in a little folder, label it 2007. I ask as an immigration attorney, at least give me 5 documents per year. So put 2007, 2008, 2009. So grab different folders, go to Staples, go to Walgreens, get some folders, start labeling them 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11, each year up until 2020, until the present, and provide at least 5 documents per year. You can either do January, April, August, and December. I mean, if you can provide every month, wonderful. But I know it's 20, we're talking about 13 years of information that you need to start gathering. So right now, get up. If you're laying around watching a movie, if you're off work, if you're working from home, start digging through your suitcase. Start calling your aunt who keeps everything, or that person that you know that keeps all the documentation. Ask them, do you have a picture of me when I was little? Do you have letters that came from the home country? Did you personally send money abroad? Maybe you used to send MoneyGrams, or sending money abroad. Any way that you're able to send money abroad, or any documentation that you have proving, look, I was here in the United States, I lived here, I was actually getting mail from a foreign country when I just started here. That is proof that, look, I came here when I was before age 16, and I've been physically here in the United States from June 15, 2007 all the way until the present of 2020. The other requirement as well is you have to be at least age 15 in order to apply. I get phone calls, hey, my 8-year-old, she's here unlawfully, no legal status. Can she apply for DACA? And the answer is no. That person has to be at least 15 years old before they can apply for any benefits with DACA particularly. The other thing is too that they are currently enrolled in school, that they have graduated from high school, or they're currently, they already have a high school diploma. So you can go back to your high school and say, hey, can I get my transcripts? So here's a tip. You can request for unofficial transcripts. They don't have to be official transcripts. You can go and find and dig up in a box and find your diploma from high school. That's going to prove that you graduated from high school. Or if you dropped out from high school, you can go back and register for a GED program right now. And you will be considered as currently enrolled in school. You also need to be able to prove that you're actually physically present in the United States on June 15, 2012. Why is that date important? That is when the announcement about DACA was announced and was made. So they want to make sure that you were actually physically here. They don't want people to be coming, they hear a benefit about immigration. They come flooding into the United States. So let's say that day, June 15, 2012, I did nothing. Let's say I was sick. I was in bed. I made no transactions. I didn't post anything on my social media. Didn't take out any money from the ATM. So I can't prove that I was here. It's okay if you can find documentation 3 or 4 days before June 15, 2012, or a couple of days before that date. So it's not the end of the world, but you need to start looking for that documentation as well. And most importantly, you cannot have a felony. If you have a felony, you need to consult with an immigration attorney before you apply. You run at risk because if you submit an application with immigration and if it is denied, they can put you in immigration proceedings. You have to be very careful. You cannot have a felony and you cannot have 3 or more misdemeanors. Okay, so you have to be very careful. You have to check your record. You have to remember. And again, what type of documentation do you need? You're going to need to prove to immigration my identity. So provide a birth certificate. Obviously, you have to submit a translation. Also, they're going to need a picture ID. So I have parents ask me, well, my daughter, she's a sophomore in high school. She doesn't have any IDs. You can even use your school ID. If you have a library card ID, anything with your picture, and understand that you're young, you don't have a driver license, a 15-year-old doesn't have a driver license, you're able to submit that documentation to prove your identity. And from then, you're going to start proving, look, I did come to the U.S. before the age of 16. So what documentation can you provide? Go with the basics. Immunization records. We all need them before we can start school. So if you open your immunization records, you will have stamps, or you'll see the dates, 2004, 2005, 6, 7. You come back every year for different immunization records. Then maybe you started school, kindergarten. Maybe get the picture from the school book, that yearbook, and then I'll circle them when I give them when I submit my packages to immigration. I'll circle them, highlight them. Hey, this is Jamie, in first grade, second grade. I do it for every year. I photocopy the school IDs if we have them, medical records as well, birth certificates. If I had children in 2012, I'm going to submit that as proof that look, I was here, I gave birth, or I'm the father. My name is on this birth certificate. And also, if you were pregnant during that time, any of the time, you normally get what? Prenatal care. So you have medical records under your name. You have post care. If I'm taking my daughter every so often for her shots or immunization records, you get documentation under their name. If your kids are not third and fourth grade, you get your report card to your name. You get newsletters, you get emails, social media, Facebook post. You really need to get creative and get as much information as possible. You just have to think outside the box. So the normal thing, usually income taxes, if you have a checking account, a bank account, if you have car insurance, health insurance, if you have a homeowner's insurance. I have couples who have brought me, hey, we bought this dining room set together, we're making monthly payments. I've had young people who will bring me a speeding ticket. I had a speeding ticket. Look, it shows that I was here in 2012. So these are all documentation that you just need to be creative and just think and expand. Some people will come to my office and say, I have nothing. There's absolutely nothing. But it's just a matter of thinking. There are some pictures back like in 1998, remember, where they used to have the date on the lower bottom. So you have one of your aunts, the aunt that takes a lot of pictures, they might have a picture of you. Maybe there's something that you can recognize in the background that, hey, I was in New York, I was in Florida, I was in Texas, I was in Chicago, I was in front of the Sears Tower, which is not called the Willis Tower back then. But anything you can prove that you were physically present here in the United States. And again, you want to do at least 5 documents per year. And again, one of the other documents you do need to submit with your application are obviously the forms. There are 3 forms. There is the I-821D as in David. Again, that's I-821D as in David. There's the form I-765, that's your employment authorization. And there's the I-765WS, it's a worksheet. So fill those 3 applications, organize your information, the documentation, which is your identity documentation, your birth certificate, picture ID, all the documentation. I came here before the age of 16. I graduated from high school. Here are my transcripts. Here's my diploma. And here's everything in chronological order from 2007 all the way until the present that I've been here in the United States. You're going to submit your application. You're actually going to attach 2 style passport pictures as well. Go to Walgreens, go to Walmart, any place that you can get the 2 style passport pictures. And you're going to also submit a money order payable to immigration for the amount of $495. Make sure that money order is payable to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Okay? So giving you a really quick rundown as to what the requirements are. Follow me. Make sure, please, you follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Abogada Rocio. Follow me on my YouTube channel as well. I'm frequently doing presentations like this, giving you more information and the latest updates. We also have a weekly newsletter that goes out frequently with new updates and changes. So feel free to contact us, and we can add you to our mailing list. And any questions, right here, our number is 312-226-4232. Again, it's 312-226-4232. I am Rocio Becerril, and an immigration attorney, and thank you for joining me. I will be talking to you guys soon.